Saints being led out this afternoon by Ben Diggles. 6 years of age is Ben. He's there with the Saints captain Shane Cooper. Big day for this young lad. He attends Ashurst County Primary School there at Blackbrook, and his favourite player is George Mann. George is on the bench this afternoon, but no doubt he'll be in the thick of the action later on. The players there are coming round and just kicking balls into the crowd, rugby balls, as souvenirs for the fans who managed to get them. A carnival atmosphere here today, plenty going on right from about 2:15. We've had the marching band and all sorts going on. And joining me this afternoon for your match day commentary, I've got Saints forward Paul Forber in his testimonial season here at Nosey Road. Versatile packman and well worthy of a benefit, and I just hope the Saints public get their hand in the pocket and give him a bumper check at the end of his 12-month stint. But the Warrington side just checking the pitch now. I'll just run through the teams for you. St Helens first, of course. Phil Beavers against the full-back spot. The three-quarter line of Hunt, Rapati, Loughlin and Quirk. Half-backs are Griffiths and Bishop. In the front row with Jonathan Neal, Paul Groves, Kevin Ward. The back three of Harrison, Nicholl and Cooper, with Connolly and Mann on the substitutes bench. The Warrington side, full-back Dave Lyon. Three-quarter line of Drummond, Derbyshire, Thornley and Rob Myler. Half-backs are Ellis and Crompton, with the front row of Harmon, Duane Mann, Gary Chambers. The back three, Don Duffy, Mike Gregory and Paul Cullen, and their substitutes are Turner and Sumner. So Mike Gregory, captain for Warrington, been out injured, as a lot of the Warrington side carrying injuries. Saints captain Shane Cooper. And we just look forward to an excellent match this afternoon. Referee Ray Tennant, he's the man in the middle. Formalities just been exchanged there in the centre spot, both captains and the mascot, Ben Diggles, and there he is being led over to the far side. Big day for this young lad, only 6 years of age, a stalwart Saints supporter, and he'll remember this for a long time to come, won't he? But it's Saints to kick off, playing up to the Eddington stand for the first half of this Stones Bitter League clash. Loughlin gets us underway. Deep kick taken in the in-goal area by Mike Gregory. He drives it upfield. Saints on a high after last week's win at the Boulevard. A tremendous win over Noel Cleel's men. And Saints captain there, Shane Cooper, led by example last week, in the thick of it again. A good game in prospect here, Paul, this afternoon?
This should definitely be a good game. I mean, Saints and Warrington always bring a good game. It's going to be a tough game, and possibly it'll be close as well.
But it's Warrington in possession, moving it to their left, solid tackling again. Saints forced them back in with Kevin Ward, John Harrison and Shane Cooper. Gary Chambers that was, got the kick through, Groves has it! Duane Mann tried to kick through and Groves had it, but a knock-on being ruled. Whether the ball was reaped out of Paul Groves' hands, but Desi Drummond come up with it, but a knock-on has been ruled. He gives the scrum down. Referee Tennant obviously ruling that Paul Groves had lost the ball. Warrington feed, Warrington possession. Des Drummond comes in field, ducks under the tackle, and he's one you've got to watch. He's Des Drummond, versatile campaigner. He's been at Warrington 2 or 3 seasons. He was in a testimonial season at Lee, and then part way through that testimonial season he was transferred to Warrington. But Saints penalised for offside. Well, Paul, nothing changes, does it? Mr. Smith didn't do us any favours last week at Hull, and referee Tennant's carrying on.
No, I think it's a bad thing with the Saints team, really, discipline. I mean, at all, we had 18 penalties to 7 last week. I mean, it's going to count all the time, especially when you start playing against the top teams. If you start giving so many penalties away, the other team will capitalise on it every time.
Duane Mann to restart, just inside the Saints half. Groves and Loughlin complete the tackle. Crompton at dummy half. Warrington moving it in field. Second row forward, Don Duffy, an Australian, but he's been at Warrington. He's been there quite a while. Dwayne Mann again. Warrington moving it left. Chambers. This Cumbrian forward is still powering his way upfield on the Saints 25. Saints having to defend. Mike Gregory. Inside ball there to Crompton. Well, that would have been a forward pass if Warrington had gathered it, but Saints do come up with it after a couple of bites of the cherry, but Warrington there penalised. Offside is the decision there from referee Tennant, and the first penalty for the Saints. 3 minutes gone, and a little bit of respite for the Saints, with Warrington doing all the attacking in the early minutes. As I said before, excellent game last week at the Boulevard. A good win, really took over at the Boulevard. 31 points to 10, the final score. Saints move it upfield. Groves at dummy half. Turns it inside. Bishop onto Sonny Nicol. From a standing start, Nicol powering his way upfield. And listen, this crowd get behind him. He's still going. It takes 5 men to bring him down. Groves wants a quick play the ball. Inside to Bishop. Jonathan Griffiths. Looking to create the switch movement there. But solid tackling again, and it's Kevin Ward. The Saints faithful get behind them, but Ward loses possession. Warrington now moving downfield. Kevin Ellis, I think that is, making his way up to the Saints 25. Gregory knocks it forward. Took his eye off the ball. Seesaw game, Paul, and plenty of hard tackling.
Yeah, there's plenty of hard tackling. And I think it's about when Saints settle down now, they settle it down for a couple of drives, and then they start playing good football. I mean, it's always going to be a rugged game against Warrington. It's always an hard game. Everybody's coming in, very hard tackles. But Saints can adapt to it. They've got the players there to take the ball up, and they're running strong at the moment. And I think Saints are looking okay.
Saints moving it to the right. Paul Loughlin turns in the tackle. Well taken down the second row forward. Don Duffy, one of the tacklers. Now it's with John Neal. On to Tia Rapati. Out to Alan Hunt. Hunt comes back in field. Quick hands there, and one thing is noticeable that Mike McClellan, in my opinion of course, has obviously been training hard with Jonathan Neal. He's turning in the tackle, looking to release it, and obviously Saints trying to keep this ball alive at all costs. Well, Duffy there penalised for reaping the ball out of John Harrison's hands. He was just about to play the ball, and the referee Tennant right on the job penalises Warrington. Duffy it was that obviously had a hand on the ball there and took it out of John Harrison's hands. Touch found about 5 yards from the Warrington 25. Well, about 10, that's where 10 yards, I beg your pardon. Paul Groves waiting to restart. John Neal, first receiver, driving into the Warrington defence up to the 25-yard line. Groves again, the ball will be spread to the right, I think this time. No. Bishop on the blind side. Cooper inside to Ward. Ward looking to release, but good clamp tackling there is the order of the day. Nothing more than we can expect from this Warrington outfit. Groves again. John Neal in with a shoulder, drives it up, but the ball will have to be spread. Paul Groves wants a quick play of the ball. Bishop along the line. Griffiths looking for the shank. Griffiths charges upfield. Still brought down just short of the 25. Referee Tennant urging the Warrington players to get back on side. As Saints move it right. Loughlin gives the dummy, but the ball's lost. Do Warrington have possession? No, Saints still have it. It's the sixth and final tackle. It's Harrison that comes up with it. Bishop again. Well, quickly in. The ball's released. It's now with Paul Loughlin. It's on the sixth tackle, but Saints are running it onto Alan Hunt. He chips it forward. Warrington have to play it. He's in his in-goal area, and Saints tacklers come up there and put a tremendous amount of pressure on the Warrington man, and it's going to be a dropout from between the sticks. A good period of attacking play there, Paul, and putting pressure on Warrington.
Yes, Saints keep them up here now, put a lot of pressure on them. I mean, they've got the kick out from under the sticks now. Well, Saints looks though they're on top at the moment. I mean, Warrington's coming in with some ferocious tackling, but Saints seem to be thrown off at the moment. The Saints are settling down a little bit now, and once we start playing a bit of rugby when Shane comes into play and getting the ball out wide, I think we'll start looking stronger.
So it's Lyon to drop out from between the sticks. Shows you there was no love lost there as Paul Bishop came through and was taken rather high, but played allowed to go on. It's now with Les Quirk. Les Quirk's lost possession. Paul Loughlin picks it up. He was in an offside position. Referee Tennant gives a penalty, awards a penalty to Warrington. But Saints moving it quickly to the left. Les Quirk couldn't take it. Paul Loughlin instinctively picked it up. He was in an offside position and referee Tennant duly penalised him. Lyon finds touch just over 10 yards away from the Saints 25-yard line. Just waiting to get underway. Dwayne Mann ready to restart. Dwayne Mann feeds it inside onto Chambers. Ward, Neil and Harrison quickly in. Now it's on to Neil Harmon, local lad Neil Harmon from the Blackroot Club. Good strong runner. A lot of local talent from around these areas for the local clubs. Widnes, Warrington, Wigan and St Helens. But it's that scrum half there, Martin Crompton. 10 yards short of the line. No score at present, but Warrington doing a lot of pressing. Gregory, well, that certainly looked to hint forward there as Warrington are mounting an attack on the Saints line. Ellis chips it through, but the try's awarded. Prop forward there, Gary Chambers goes through. It was Ellis there, Paul. He saw the gap, he chipped it through, and Chambers followed it up.
Yeah, so Ellis obviously just saying that Ellis can be a lot of danger. You know, he was coming through there, he's been coming through a couple of times. He put a little chip ball through there. The prop forward followed through well and picked it up. But really, it's gone against run of play, especially with Saints being up in their half. I mean, Warrington didn't deserve really to go into the lead now after Saints have been playing so well at the time. But as we know in rugby, this is what happens. So we're just going to have to go back now, take a couple of steadies and then start playing back up again.
When Lyon converts this, and he's a dead cert to convert it, I would say right under the sticks. Saints will be 6 points in arrears. And as Paul said, it's this Kevin Ellis, you've got to watch him, the ex-Bridgend, the fly half. Playing well, had the Great Britain call-up, and he can create havoc in the tightest of defences. He kicked it through there and Chambers followed it up. Nobody with Chambers, and Warrington now 6 points to 0 in the lead. 3 times we played Warrington last season. At home here, the last home game of the season. We completely devastated them, 62 points to 16. At Wilderspool we lost 34-20 in the league, and in the Regal Trophy third round we lost at Wilderspool again, 18 points to 12. Apart from the thrashing of Warrington here, the other 2 games were excellent games, and certainly seesaw games could have gone either way. But Saints kick off, 10.5 minutes gone. Mike Gregory driving the ball up, he turns it in field. Warrington back it up, and Saints will have to tackle like terriers there. Bishop quickly in with Kevin Ward, wrestling the man to the ground. He finally gets up to play it, does Ellis. Dwayne Mann, the dummy in, and has to take it forward. The Warrington forwards there, just a little bunched. But it's Chambers again, the try scorer. Young forward, young Cumbrian forward from the Kells club. And now it's Neil Harmon. But Jonathan Neal comes in there, knocks into the ground. Paul Bishop round the legs. Kick downfield again from Crompton. Alan Hunt takes it, comes crossfield, gives the dummy. Phil Beaver's linking up with him, but Hunt has to take the tackle. Beaver steps up at dummy half. It's quickly played, it's moved to the right. It's Tirapati. Strong right centre, but he can't evade the tackling this time. And the Warrington player there, lying all over Tirapati. The game is stopped. I don't know what referee Tennant's decision is. He's just stopped the game for the injury. But a lot of these players hanging on at the tackle, Paul, and they're supposed to release straight away, aren't they?
Yeah, this is what's happened. I mean, the game's very, very fast, and when you get big forwards running at such speeds and that, what you have to do is you have to slow them down a little bit. So we have to lie on a little bit just to slow the game down a bit, because it's a very fast game at the moment. Forwards are taking it up really well, and the ball's being thrown out a bit. And especially with the weather being so hot, it's going to take a lot out of them, this.
So it's Tony Thornley there receiving treatment. Saints receiving the penalty as Thornley penalised for holding down. Saints taking the penalties 3-2 at present, one clean scrum each, and touches found just about 5 yards inside the Warrington half. Paul Groves waiting to get things underway. Jonathan Neal again, first receiver, turned in the tackle, couldn't release it. Groves was there waiting. There's some strong runners in this Saints pack. Bishop did well to catch that ball and pass it on to John Harrison. With the Warrington attack pressing up ever so quickly. They've come here with a purpose, Warrington. And it's Cooper, Bishop along, Phil Beavers in the line. The ball's back to Bishop, is it? It's touched a Warrington man, and another 6 tackles signified, a clean sheet. And Warrington penalised yet again for niggling Paul Bishop. I would imagine they'll give him a bit of stick this afternoon, Paul, with the young Paul Bishop, the ex-Warrington halfback.
Yes, I think they will, especially with what happened at the end of last season. I mean, Paul scored a great try and had a great game, and I think that he rubbed it in a little bit that he left the club. I mean, obviously today they're going to give him a lot of attention, but I think Paul's up to it. He's a little bit of a robust player, and they can handle any attention I think that Warrington can give him. There's Paul Loughlin now is going to be taking the kick here now, and with a bit of luck he'll be through the H's.
Paul Loughlin to have a go for goal. About 30 yards out, 10 yards in from the main stand side here at Knowsley Road, kicking up to the Eddington stand end. Looking for the Saints' first points. Trailing by 6 points to 0. 14 minutes of the game gone. And that's across the face of the post. Des Drummond gathers it, and you've got to press up on Drummond. Jonathan Griffiths did tackle him, slowed him down. Harrison came in and completed it, but Warrington played quickly. Ellis, he turns it inside to Drummond, and he's one you've got to get down. This ex-Great Britain wingman, tremendous strength, a black belt in judo he is, and he can duck under the most fierce of tackles. And he's put paid to Saints before today in his stints for Warrington handling. Ward and Loughlin complete the tackle on Neil Harmon. Across the line there, Paul Cullen. He's a versatile campaigner, is Cullen, not known for his finesse in the tackle, but we've not seen much of it just at present. Beavers takes it on the run. Superb take from Phil Beavers. Popular side erupt, and the chant of Beavers can be heard all round. And now it's Bishop on to Harrison, taking up the running. Powers his way into the Warrington half. Warrington urged to get back on side. Groves on to Jonathan Neal, back to Harrison, on to Bishop. Griffiths now on to Loughlin. Loughlin sees the gap, stretches for it. Just taken down there, some enthusiastic tackling from Ellis. Now Kevin Ward looking for support, inside to Sonny Nicol. He's powering his way, Nicol, he's going for the line. Oh yes, he's over. A superb try from Sonny Nicol. It's first for the Saints, and on his home debut as well. A tremendous run, took it 25 yards out, evaded about 3 tackles, and he raises his hand in salute. Brilliant second row's try there, Paul.
Yes, it was a great try by Sonny Nicol. He picked the ball up well there and come steaming onto it. He evaded a couple of players and then run strongly through the tackles and managed to get over the line superb. It looks as though he wasn't going to get there, but the sheer power of the lad took him all the way to the line.
And that's why the Saints have signed this man from Sheffield Eagles, valued at £195,000 by Gary Hetherington, and Saints got him for a snip via the tribunal at £80,000. And that's what he can do, and that's why he's been brought here to Knowsley Road. And with Paul Farber with me now, unfortunately, Paul, I mean, he's one of the guys that's playing for your place as well. You've got to contend with the up and coming, and all depends obviously how they play, whether you can get your position back in the pack.
Yes, I mean, it's going to be hard to get back in the team, I realise that, but if the Saints are playing so well, I don't mind not playing. I mean, as long as we're winning games, I mean, we've got to go for the league this year. We've not won it for a long time, and just put a bit of consistency together. And the Saints, if they're playing well it doesn't matter if I'm not playing or not.
Well, Paul Loughlin pulls that to the left. 17 minutes of the game gone, and Saints back in it, trailing by 6 points to 4 with that Sonny Nicol try. One out of the top drawer, and a try out of nothing, to be quite honest, really. It looked as though he was going to be well taken, but superior strength powered his way forward, and his impetus took him over just to the left of the posts. But it's Warrington to kick off. And as I said before, carnival atmosphere today. McEwen's lager sponsoring the Saints to the tune of about £330,000. New sponsors shirts, and all the fashion now is the change to the strips, not the conventional strips. Obviously we've been brought up to, but it's all big business, all this marketing, and it's all good to promote the greatest game in the world. Warrington there with a red and green strip, it's green holes, and I've been assured that it's the first time that Warrington have played without primrose and blue. I've had that off good authority, whether that's correct or not. Well, Jonathan Neal, the ball's loose, he took 2 bites at the cherry, he got it, and unfortunately a bit of ramming in the tackle, the ball shot out, and Saints have been penalised there for holding the man down, not to play the ball. Sometimes the referees move in exceptionally quickly. They don't give a player time to get up, and certainly a lot of ramming at to play the ball there, Paul, and he was in exceptionally quickly, in my opinion.
Yes, I think what it was I think Best was trying to slow him down a little bit, and he's putting his hand over the ball. Mike Gregg wasn't too happy with him, he kept swinging at him, but Bish didn't hang on, he just kept keeping his arm on the ball, and it resulted into a penalty. I mean, they're under the sticks now, and it should be 2 points here. And let's hope Saints go back up there now and take the game back to him.
So David Lyon right in front of the sticks, about 20 yards out, shouldn't have any problem. Already successful with that Chambers conversion. The goal to the Chambers try. Halfway through the game now. 6-4 at present, with Lyon hoping to tag an extra couple on from this penalty. Strikes it well, right between the uprights, and that makes the score Saints 4, Warrington 8. Also this afternoon, a big welcome to the sponsors from British Gas. That's British Gas Northwest, regular sponsors of the Saints matches, and I just wish them all a happy afternoon, and I hope they see a feast of rugby. It's early days yet, 8 points to 4. One of the 2 local derbies taking place today, Saints and Warrington. The other one this evening is Wigan and Widnes, and the old pie eaters there, they'll be doing some mourning. Life after Hanley, they say, and they couldn't even beat 12 men at Castleford last week after winning early on in the game. But it's Warrington in possession. Ward and Loughlin complete the tackle. Dwayne Mann, the dummy half, for the wire. Moving back to Lyon for the kick downfield. Beavers moves over. Les Quirk there on the right-hand side. Quirk and Hunt have changed sides, and it's Quirk that takes it up to the 25. Beavers at dummy half. Sonny Nicol again. Listen to buzz round this arena as Sonny Nicol gets possession. Cullen there just lying on a little, and it's now with John Harrison powering his way upfield. Groves again from dummy half, inside to Jonathan Neal. Moves it to Sonny Nicol again, on the run. Support on the inside, but the tackling comes up quickly. Mike Gregory. Bishop along the line, Cooper, Jonathan Griffiths into the hole, loses possession. Cooper tidies it up so that the scrum will be formed. Looking to move it quickly there. just inside the Saints half. The scrum will be formed with a Warrington feed. Martin Crompton will do the feeding. One scrum each. Crompton feeds it. Warrington moving it over to the left. Ellis, well, obstruction there. Crossing as the Saints defence came in, but referee Tennant was moving over. Didn't pick it out this time. But the Saints defence holding firm. And Warrington quickly away from the acting half-back. There is Rob Myler. Dwayne Mann along the line now. Chambers, Saints urged back onside as Neil Harmon comes running through. Harrison and Ward bring him down. Warrington have penetrated the Saints 25. Gregory working a loop movement there with Thornley. Sixth and final tackle now. Will the ball go up in the air? It's up to Crompton. Drummond there's chasing him. A fraction offside was Drummond, but Beavers can't take it. Warrington back with another 6. It looks a run in here. Can the defence? Oh, super tackle there. Alan Hunt, super tackle on Paul Derbyshire. It looked a try all over there, Paul, but what a tremendous tackle.
Yes, I think that's one of the reasons why he's changed Alan Hunt over to here. I mean, Les is running strong, but Alan he has a lot of confidence in himself, and he's not bothered about who he plays against. I mean, that tackle there was a great tackle. And putting him over on this wing, he knows that he'll run free, he's not bothered, he'll jink about a little bit, and then leave Les over there to send him on some surging runs with a bit of luck.
Saints won the ball from the scrum and moved it over centre field. Then Warrington were caught offside at the play of the ball. Desi Drummond it was. He was in an offside position, in my opinion, at that high up and unrequired distance. And it's Bishop again, onto Cooper. Inside ball, Cooper takes it again. Into space, round onto Bishop. It's off his knee. That should be play on, there's no knock on there. But referees, Tennant's indicated a knock on. Obviously no help from the touch judge on this near side. But that wasn't a knock on from Paul Bishop. He did juggle with it, but it went off his leg. And he kicked it forward. But Warrington will get scrum feed. Loop movement there, Ellis again, and that crossing movement again with Thornley on the far side. Going unnoticed yet again. Saints pressing up, pressing Warrington back, hoping to keep them in their own 25. Dwayne Mann looking for space. Think that's Chambers, is it, that's coming through? But Groves and Ward bring him down. Blindside run again. Saints withstanding the pressure. The ball back to Lyon, it's going to be booted downfield. Quirk and Beavers there, and Quirk takes it comfortably. Whether he had an injury or not last week, he didn't play at the Boulevard. Tony Sullivan was on the wing. Unfortunately, Sullivan sustained an injury. I think it was a hamstring injury. He is responding to treatment, but he's not out this afternoon, as you can see. But it's Cooper getting things underway. Bishop, Harrison, back to Bishop. Into space. Beavers inside. Beavers carry out pace of defence. A lofted ball onto Alan Hunt. Hunt, can he go in for his second? Yes, he can. Oh, just squares out. Good into passing there, centre field, Paul, with young Paul Bishop, John Harrison.
This was great passing, good angling. I mean, he was going up to the tackle, taking the tackle and laying the ball off, and this always events in having extra man on the outside. It was a bit unlucky that the Anderson, Jonathan Griffiths going through on the inside there, with him throwing the long ball out. Brown Long took it well, and like I said, he's not bothered who he plays against Allen, and he did go and attack him on the corner here. He was very, very unlucky not to get in there.
Referee Tennant stopping the game before the scrum is formed for an injury to Warrington fullback David Lyon, and Jonathan Griffiths there, I think, receiving treatment. Centre field from Saints physio Jeanette Smith. Certainly the pitch looks in good nick. Credit to Eric Edwards and his ground staff. And Saints looking to make a substitution. Jonathan Griffiths being replaced. Gary Connolly going on. Perhaps a precautionary measure. Obviously the game very intense, as Paul Forber said before. Played over the full 80 minutes, and Jonathan Griffiths, he can always come back on. So Gary Connolly there, will Connolly revert to full-back, and Phil Beavers in the stand-off position. It's versatile Beavers, as we know, he can play anywhere. What's your opinion, Paul?
Well, I think he'll definitely put Gary Connolly to full-back and put Phil Beavers in there. I mean, Phil's got a great pair of hands where Gary's got a lot of speed to cover at the back. Phil will get a good quick ball out and supply the centres to the party, and Paul Loughlin with the ball. With a bit of luck, he'll be reverting to open rugby. They're breaking away now. Warrington there, they're getting a couple of quick breaks there from the scrum where Saints have got to watch. They're still putting good tackling in those Saints there now, Beavers and Rapati.
There's Warrington in possession. Winning possession from that scrum, moving quickly, but Connolly pulling off an excellent tackle right in at the thick of things. And in this season, the use of the head bin, the blood bin, the AIDS bin, or whatever you want to call it, and David Lyon, he's come off. He's been replaced by Robert Turner while he receives treatment. A deep kick from Warrington, finds touch, about 10-15 yards from the Saints line. The referee Tennant there back quickly, and it's a scrum down. Warrington putting pressure on the Saints. As I said, this new head bin for cuts and what have you, the players got to come off the field. Well, obviously, if the referee spots him, he's got to come off to be treated, stitched, bandaged, or whatever they do with him. And if he can get back on within 10 minutes, the substitute doesn't count. But after 10 minutes, it is counted as a full substitution. Paul Bishop to feed. Saints win possession from the scrum. Alan Hunt comes in field. Tactical ploy. Well, the ball snatched out. Yes, penalised by Paul Cullen. A clear penalty there, Paul. And as I said before, Paul Cullen not renowned for his finesse in the tackle there, but he had to give a penalty away there with Alan Hunt ready to play the ball.
Yes, it's a good thing really getting that penalty down there now. Get the ball up here 40 yards. I mean, Paul's been one to know for coming and like I say, a robust tackler, which he is. But it's nice to see Alan Hunt coming in there, taking the ball from the scrum and running so freely.
So Saints down on through Jonathan Neal. He slips a lovely ball to Paul Bishop. Saints looking to get more points on the board, trailing by 8 points to 4. And Kevin Ward brought down centre field, 35 yards from the Warrington line. Finally brought to grass. Obviously a lot of difficult errors of interpretation at this stealing the ball. Well, Saints play quickly. Tontoles Quirk tries to round his man there, Myler, but Quirk looks as though he's going to get it away, juggled with it, caught it safely, and Saints still in possession. Along the line now, Bishop, good ball to Beavers, quick hands. Beavers takes a tremendous tackle from Gregory. Connolly has it, Cooper now, sweeping up, lovely ball, onto Loughlin, out to Alan Hunt, Hunt again, comes in field, yes, oh, superb, brilliant wingman stride from Alan Hunt, and isn't he pleased with that? Does the old shuffle there, the Henderson Gill shuffle, Paul, but a superbly taken try again.
Yeah, superb. I've been talking about Alan Hunt before. I mean, he's just getting more confidence and more confidence all the time. I mean, he's a young lad that's playing very, very well. I mean, he's bound to be a Great Britain prospect for the full international soon. He took the players on really well there. He had Gary inside him, but he realised that he had the confidence to go around him and the pace to go around him, and it resulted in a great try.
Superb hands again, and I mean, let's face it really, you're talking about Phil Beavers moving up to the stand-off position, and if Beavers hadn't have got that ball away quickly, that try wouldn't have materialised. But it came over, good play there. Shane Cooper, lovely lofted pass to Paul Loughlin, read it well, passed it out to Alan Hunt, he had 2 men to beat, no problem, and went in at the corner. Levelled the scores up 8 points apiece. Paul Loughlin now, hopefully to put Saints with a 2-point lead. Locks it well, that's a pearler, isn't it? Right between the uprights. No problem this time. So Warrington now, they're making a substitution. They're putting Philip Sumner on to replace Gary Chambers, and also David Lyon back out of the head bin, and substitute back Robert Turner back in the dugout. But it's Warrington to kick off, just going behind there, 10 points to 8. Superb Alan Hunt brace, and converted by Paul Loughlin. Saints captain Shane Cooper takes the ball up on the over on the far corner there, takes it up to the 25. But Warrington moving in quickly as Les Quirk tries to scamper away from the acting half-back position. In that 62 points to 16 demolition of Warrington last season, we had Alan Hunt with 4 tries, even though he doesn't remember scoring the last 3, I believe. He took a knock after scoring the first one. But Jonathan Neal feeds it inside to Paul Groves, nearly got his head took off. And a bit of mauling there. Well, referee there, he's just watching as Neil Harmon does a lot of mauling at Paul Groves. Gary Connolly from dummy half, 6th and final tackle. Let's see what the Saints have up the sleeve. It's with Bishop. Good kicking up field. Warrington will have to take it in the ring goal area. And Des Drummond, yes, he just rolls dead. So the restart from the centre of the 25. As I was just saying, Alan Hunt, he scored 4 tries. Les Quirk scored 3 in about 10 minutes. Also we had tries from Paul Loughlin too, with Jonathan Griffiths, Jonathan Neal and Paul Bishop on the score sheet, with Paul Loughlin and with 7 goals. But it's Warrington now, underway, centre field, Dwayne Mann being wrapped up by Kevin Ward and being dragged back 10-15 yards. He doesn't like it, but he'll have to take it. Well, Kevin Ward there, being penalised, and I think it was Dwayne Mann that had hold of him. He didn't like the idea of being tackled, and unfortunately Paul Ward penalised.
Yes, I mean, it was just a case there of both pulling each other's jumper. Kevin had just put a big tackle in, and Dwayne Mann didn't seem to like it. He was pulling at Kevin's jumper. Kevin was pulling at his, and it resulted in Saints getting a penalty. Why, really? I don't know, with both men doing the same thing.
Well, you know what they say about this referee, Paul, Ray Tennant. That's Tennant. He's good, but not that good. But it's Warrington there in possession. Brought down just inside the Saints half. A knock on at the lower level there. Obviously the popular side spotted that. We just didn't see it up here, but it's Paul Cullen. He knocked it forward. The referee Tennant quickly in there, and Saints with scrum feed. And Bishop has possession. On to Cooper, inside to Loughlin, side steps, looking for support. Beavers is with him, Beavers has it. Pushed to the ground there, but Saints on the charge, looking rampant. Harrison up to the 25. 4 minutes and a half remaining, hasn't that gone quickly? 36 minutes gone, 10 points to 8 the score. Kevin Ward, centre field, releases it now. Unfortunately, Warrington come up with possession. Kevin tried to keep it going. Yes, Cooper rigs it back. Well, referee Tennant, what sort of a decision's that, man? He comes in, penalises the Saints for allegedly holding on to the jumper, and just gives Warrington a little bit of breathing space. Brilliant play there from Saints captain Cooper. He rigged the ball back, and well, referee Tennant, he had to think of something, and he came up with a bit of jersey pulling. Warrington received the penalty, and they start off with Neil Harmon inside to Dwayne Mann, looking to spread it. Time running out for them in the first half. Bishop and Ward complete the tackling now. Substitute Pac-Man Philip Sumner takes the tackle of Bishop and Groves. Blindside ploy, there's Kevin Ellis. Well, he gets the favourable rebound, but Connolly, he did well, he took it well. Gregory going in there in the second tackle. Touch judge is unmoved, but a heavy hit there by Mike Gregory. Paul Loughlin backs into the tackle, up to the 25-yard line. Jonathan Neal, well, Jonathan Neal in possession, but Warrington penalised, not lining up correctly at the play of the ball. And Paul Loughlin with the penalty. A tough half ball coming to the end, and Saints in the lead, and that should give them a good boost for the second half.
Yes, both props are working very well. Kevin Ward and Jonathan Neal working very well. The second rows are working well. I like to see Sonny with ball a little bit more and making a few more of them breaks what he's made in the early in the half. But Saints are settling down a bit, but they know they've got a game on their hands here. I mean, there's a lot of rough tackling going in, especially as we're seeing now. But if we throw it out wide and Shane gets in there and makes a few gaps, Ward and Jonathan Neal keep taking the ball up like they are doing, I think we should be okay.
Yes, bursts like that, you mean, Paul, just as Kevin Ward was bursting through. But Dwayne Mann penalised this time for snatching the ball. Mike Gregory's going up there having a word, and a chance now for Saints to tag an extra couple of points on the board before the half-time interval. Just as you were saying there, Paul, about the forwards driving up, but obviously we can only play as well as the opposition will let you. But Kevin Ward there, he's ripping holes in this Warrington defence, and all you've got to do there, follow the man with the ball, and we'll get further points on the board.
Yes, we're hoping that we'll get further points on the board. But you need a pack like we've got out today to make it easier for the backs. I mean, you've got the forwards there, they run the ball up superbly hard, they're tackling really well, and this lays the foundations down for the backs. Gives them a bit of time to throw the ball about and show a bit of flow that they've got.
Paul Loughlin strikes it well, right centre field. 39 minutes of the game gone. Loughlin gives Saints a 4-point cushion. £12 points to 8 the score. Two tries to Alan Hunt, I beg your pardon, a try to Sonny Nicholl, a try to Alan Hunt. 2 goals to Paul Loughlin, Saints 12 points, and Warrington with 8. Power play from the Saints as Sonny Nicholl and Gregory quickly in there. He's been rubbing Nicholl up the wrong road. There was a doubt over Gregory's fitness, but he's certainly mixing it there. Gregory in again. I don't know whether there's any bad blood between these two. Just Sonny will just have to keep his cool. Ward slips the ball on to Paul Groves. Playing in time, added on for stoppages as Bishop brings it blindside. Taken late there. Gets up, it's a heavy hit that from Paul Cullen on his ex-teammate Paul Bishop. And Bishop just eyes him up and he says, I've seen you, Sonny. Des Drummond now for Warrington, trailing by 12 points to 8. Lyon at dummy half. Inside ball to Neil Harmon, but he's well taken there. As Warrington take it centre field, Sumner, well marshalled, brought down Harrison and Shane Cooper. Chip kick through. Bishop takes it well inside to Alan Hunt, takes it, stood still but drives up centre field. Hunt again. Tremendous 15-20 yard burst from Alan Hunt. As Saints now, can they put a last charge to get points on the board before the half-time hooter? Sonny Nicholl it is on the far side. Dwayne Mann brings him down. A minute and a half of stoppage time we've played. Saints leading by 12 points to 8, I beg your pardon. Loose play, Warrington tidy it up. They're chasing on for the line. It's Crompton, he comes inside, Bishop misses him. Connolly comes back, Warrington have lost possession. And the ball's been kicked dead by a Warrington boot. So it'll be a restart from the centre of the 25, surely. Well, it must be a Saints feed in the scrum, but Saints nearly caught on the hop there, Paul.
Yes, there was, but they got back there in time, and there was some good tackling in the end. I mean, obviously their player there didn't have enough pace to go the full length. But even though Saints lost the ball, went backwards, they picked it up and then kicked it dead. I mean, obviously it should be a 25-yard tap.
Yes, well, I'll agree with that, but it's the fella in the middle that makes the decisions and not us, unfortunately. Cooper brings it blindside onto Loughlin. Alan Hunt with him. Hunt takes it well. Can he come inside? Oh, good tackle there. Super tackle there from Kevin Ellis. And that brings the first half to a halt, with Saints leading by 12 points to 8. And applause all round the ground for a great first half. Warrington opening up the scoring in the 9th minute with a Chambers try after a little kick through there by Ellis, and that puts it 6 points to 0 in arrears. Then a superb individual try by Nicol, a Lyon penalty goal, and that put Warrington in the lead at 8 points to 4. Then a superb try from Alan Hunt, and that Loughlin penalty goal in the 39th minute. So at half time here at Knowsley Road, 12 points to 8 in the Saints' favour is the score. Back with you for the second half of this Stones Bitter League encounter. Saints and Warrington. Saints just 12 points to 8 in the lead at half time. Before we get underway, just to give a mention of congratulations to Brenda and Sam Benson on the birth of their first grandchild, Gemma Louise. She's already been enrolled in the supporters club at 1 day old. So a big mention to them there, Brenda and Sam Benson, on the birth of their first grandchild, Gemma Louise. Warrington to get us underway. George Mann on at half time. Phil Beavers takes the ball up to the 25. Groves on to John Harrison. Inside there to Groves again. Looking to spread it. He does to Sonny Nicol. Cullen again round the head area. But Sonny Nicol brought down. And let's hope they utilise this big second row man in some punishing runs. On to George Mann now. Jonathan Neal being replaced at half time. And it's now with Shane Cooper. Turns. Ducks under Cullen's tackle. Groves again. Support on the inside from Kevin Ward. Inside again to Connolly. Couldn't take it, but Bishop does, and Ellis manages to take it. He was involved in a tackle there, but Ellis just gets the ball up, and Saints being penalised for raking the ball. Les Quirk shakes his head there, and referee Tennant saw something, Paul. We didn't notice anything up here, but Saints have been penalised.
Well, it was a bit. What was happening was with them getting a quick reverse play there now, and Ellis picking the ball up. He done the right thing really with holding down. I mean, it might result in 2 points, but it could result in a try there if he'd have played the ball quick and run it up the blind side here. Really, they're possibly silly, but sometimes you've got to do these things.
So, just as David Lyon gets ready to kick this penalty goal award, young Paul Bishop there, centre field, just receiving a little mention from the Warrington faithful, ensconced in the Eddington stand. Nothing that he can't handle. As Lyon composes himself. Kick 2 this afternoon. Strikes it well, but it's to the left. But it goes dead. So Saints will have to drop out from the centre of the 25. Lancashire Cup action next week here at St Helens when the Saints entertain Trafford Borough. We did play them in the first round of the Lancashire Cup last year. Beat them comprehensively after Trafford giving the Saints an early scare. But you're at Knowsley Road this afternoon. The score is 12 points to 8. It's Phil Beavers to drop off. Not drop off, drop out. I beg your pardon. And as you no doubt have heard, we've got Saints forward Paul Farber summarising with me this afternoon. It's Warrington in possession. Dwayne Mann takes it to the right. Ellis, well, fortunately it goes back there, and Dwayne Mann backing up. But Ellis didn't know much about that. Beavers in the thick of the action, and it's Neil Harmon. 15-yard burst from this local lad, St Helens lad, played for the Blackbrook Club. Another hotbed of rugby around the St Helens area. And it's substitute forward there. Sumner driving for the corner. Connolly completes a try-saving tackle there, but it's Warrington putting the pressure on the Saints. Saints back in numbers, the sixth and final tackle. And Sumner broke through there in a superb tackle. And it's on the sixth, but Warrington are running it. Gregory, lofted ball there to Lyon. He'll have to be closed down. In the corner, yes. Warrington squeezing at the corner with Rob Myler going in. Good tackling from the Saints on the far side, Paul, but they spread it well. Warrington on the sixth tackle and scores into this left-hand corner.
Yes, it was a great breakthrough, the substitute there. I mean, Gary, had a long way for going. Didn't think he was coming through. He covered over superb, and Gary picked him up well. It just happened though that Saints had got all the cover over there, and Warrington threw the ball back very, very quick, and left us a little bit alert really over here because we got left without numbers. And Warrington had the numbers, and that's why it ended up with a Warrington try in the corner.
That levels the scores up 12 points apiece, and as you can see from Lyon, David Lyon, where he's positioning the ball, it's only about a foot in from the touchline. So Rob Myler, he did well there. The ball came across to him right the full width of the pitch, and he took it low and dove in at the corner. And the popular side faithful erupt when the Saints come marching in as David Lyon attempts to convert the Myler try. 12 points apiece is the score. Composing himself unsuccessful a couple of minutes ago with a penalty award. Well, same way, takes it to the left of the post. So the scores are level, 12 points apiece, 5 minutes gone in the second half. And as they say, everything to play for. As I said before, we must give an extra special mention to our sponsors today, British Gas Northwest, Gordon Spencer and his party. It'll be an exciting match for him. They'll be up there in the sponsors' boxes at the right-hand side of us. Well, a knock-on in the in-goal area, an unforced error from the try scorer there, Rob Myler, and that puts pressure on Warrington. They're forced to drop out from between the sticks. David Lyon, I would imagine it'll be. To drop out, there he is, just to the right of the post with the ball. Takes it centre field, Paul Bishop, up to Sonny Nicol. Takes it well, drives up to the 25. Three-man Warrington reception committee haul him down. Les Quirk at acting half-back, on to John Harrison. 2 or 3 forward drives to get into the Warrington 25. Cooper again, Kevin Ward. Ward stood in the tackle, always looking to release that ball. Well clamped this time. George Mann. Groves again, scampers away. Sixth and final tackle now. Shane Cooper just mustering his troops. Phil Beavers at dummy half. It's on to Bishop for the drop goal. Waved away by referee Tennant. Always worth a try, Paul, to get the extra point, but unsuccessful this time.
Yes, it was unsuccessful there. I mean, Saints took him down there and tried to go away with the 1 point and come back with the ball. But it didn't go that way, and Warrington are coming away now. Big John's just took a knock on his shoulder, it looks of it. But we still seem to be tackling quite well.
Neil Harmon taking up possession, making his way towards the halfway line. The ball back to Lyon. He peppers it upfield. Gary Connolly has to turn, but it sits up nice for him. He's on his own. Les Quirk's back with him now. Tiarapati is with him as well. A quiet game for Tiarapati today so far. He's there at dummy half. Turns it inside to Paul Bishop. Cooper. Saints looking a little flat-footed at present, but it's Alan Hunt. Back to Paul Bishop. On to John Harrison. Lots of pairs of hands, but unfortunately the Saints are not moving forward. Rapati again. Still driving forward. 15-yard burst, and now it's with Cooper. Sonny Nicol. Into space is Nicol. Breaking through the tacklers at will. 15, 20-yard burst, and Nicol there. Well, it's Gregory again. In on Sonny Nicol, holding him down. And he's no problems this time, is Gregory. He's only the question to ask himself. He's been penalised. And Paul Loughlin to find touch on the main stand side. Ten-yard short of the Warrington 25. 6 tackles for Saints to get points on the board. Bishop bringing it across field. Connolly going from acting half-back. Looking for support, just getting out of the tackle, releases it to Cooper. Les Quirk has it. Rapati's with him. Quirk has to take the tackle. Rapati at dummy half, inside ball to Vivers. Lofted pass. John Harrison inside to George Mann. Pushes one off, still moving is George Mann. Coming cross field, Cooper. Looking for the gap, he has it. It's on to Les Quirk. Can he go into the corner? Yes! Oh, the touch judge has his flag up. Very unlucky there. But Les Quirk, a judge to have been in touch. The touch judge there, he must have gone in full flight there, Paul.
Yes, it was very unlucky, Les. I mean, I wouldn't like to say myself. I mean, I know we're pretty close here looking down, but I did see the corner flag move a touch there, but it's whether Les got the ball down a little bit. You know, I mean, he could have got the ball down there, definitely. I mean, you know, it's easy said.
Well, we'll have to watch that again on the video replay, obviously. When you're listening to the professionals on the telly, they have the facility of the action replays. They can have it rewound and what have you. When you watch the Australian video, big screen and what have you, but we're watching the game live, we're just commentating on what we see, and we don't know whether Les Quirk actually got that ball down, as Paul said, but no doubt you'll watch that again and there'll be some discussion about it. Could prove crucial at the end. The score's all tied at 12 points each. 11 minutes of the game is gone in the second half, so half an hour to play and everything to play for. Warrington just squeezing in last week, a narrow victory against Salford. They had a try and a goal in injury time to beat Salford by 22 points to 20. Trailing there, obviously, 2016. But the kick upfield and Gary Connolly comes up with ball possession. Paul Loughlin taking it blindside. Turns it inside to Connolly. Saints just bunching centre field. Well, second tackling there and the touch judge on the far side, and only rightly so. Drummond, who went in there. I mean, a good forearm smash there. Kent Walton would have been proud of that. But second tackling from Drummond, and he'll no doubt receive a verbal lashing from referee Tennant. A little impetuous, that tackle, would you say, Paul?
Well, I mean, it was. I mean, the referee was stood, I mean, about 2 foot away from him. I mean, why the referee couldn't see nothing, I don't know. I mean, the linesman was farther away from the referee. The referee was straight on top of it, but he didn't give nothing. I mean, really, I mean, Des, I don't think he just come in, it was an hard tackle. You know, I don't think he made that much contact with him.
But he's being spoken to there is Desi Drummond, Paul Groves also there. No doubt Groves will have heard his opinion, but referee Tennant sees the man in the middle, he makes the decisions. A lot of talking going on. A scrum down, well, a funny decision there, but a scrum down to be formed. Especially after the touch judge coming on for a tackle by the Warrington man, but Warrington making another substitute. Robert Turner back on as a full substitution for the try scorer Rob Myler. Saints with possession, it's on to Vivers. Just loses his footing, saw the gap, tried to scamper through. Now it's Connolly, on to George Mann. Warrington tackling, defence there tightening up, and referee Tennant right on the job. Whether he has shouted held or not, I don't know. Good ball there, well, off from Cooper to Rapati. He couldn't take it, and now it's with Sumner. Strong running forward, but Paul Derbyshire down injured on the far side. Just getting up to his feet. Now it's with Neil Harmon. Warrington spreading it. It's on to Sumner. Out to Desi Drummond. But a tremendous tackle on the far side. As Drummond is brought down. Warrington still in possession. An incorrect play the ball from Drummond. Referee Tennant indicates there. So a penalty award to the Saints. Paul Loughlin being substituted. Took a knock, he was limping there, and Jonathan Neal back on. Loughlin with an ankle injury. So Saints in possession. John Harrison driving up to the halfway line. The score's all tied, 12 points apiece, 15 minutes of the half gone. And Jonathan Neal back in the action. Bishop, Cooper. That's the turn inside with Sonny Nicol looming. But I think he just overran Shane Cooper a bit there. Groves wants a quick play of the ball. And Warrington moving up quickly as Groves chips it. But straight into David Lyon's hands. Bishop comes over. Ellis. On to Thornley on the far side. The left centre for Warrington this afternoon. Well, George Mann quickly in. Well, can you weigh that up here? George Mann going in for the ball. Warrington pouncing about at the play of the ball. And referee Tennant looks to his right and penalises the Saints. And no doubt Warrington will have a go for goal. So a little bit of nitpicking, nothing to do with the play of the ball, not interfering with play, but referee Tennant running about 40 yards cross field there, Paul, toward Warrington a penalty.
Yes, I mean, Saints are going to have to keep getting back in the line. I mean, I know it was around the acting half back and it was over the far side of the field, but he's looking along the line all the time, and if we're trying to pinch it out, it's no good. I mean, every time it's going to come to 2 points. Saints, I think they're going to have to settle down again. They're going to have to put the couple of steadies back on again, put maybe 3 steadies back on, and then throw the ball about. We seem to be, everybody wants to pass the ball at the moment, and that doesn't seem to work for us. We'll have to go back down to the play in the first half, where we had a couple of drives, settled it down, and then threw the ball out, which worked pretty well.
It's David Lyon stepping up. Kick 2, missed about 3 this afternoon. A better position for him. 30 yards out, just to the left of the sticks. A penalty award to Warrington for Saints in an offside position. Lyon locks it, gets it right this time, edges Warrington into a 2-point lead. (14-12) the score. The Saints kick it deep. Gregory. Well, cries for offside. But I think Gregory did it. Gregory, Ellis was in front of him, but he went back and took the ball behind him. So I think he was right there, referee Tennant, but he's quickly in to penalise the Saints for holding down in the tackle. Over enthusiastically, in my opinion. But it's now David Lyon to kick to the popular side towards our commentary position here. And he finds touch 10 yards short of the halfway line. Dwayne Mann to get things underway, and Saints defence will have to hold firm. They're trailing by 2 points. They've got to get back in amongst it, and as Paul said, obviously plan B in the second half just hasn't been coming to fruition, but you can only play as good as the opposition will let you. Got to try and exploit the gaps on the flanks. Saints just haven't been doing it. Warrington there with quick hands. The ball being knocked down. Warrington knock it forward. Saints come up with possession. George Mann has it. Alan Hunt did have it, but it was knocked back. Bishop. Saints stood still as John Harrison looks for the gap. He releases it to Gary Connolly. sidesteps past one, there's Connolly, and he's on the go. He chips it forward. Well, he's taken off the ball, is Connolly, by David Lyon, and that should result in a penalty under the sticks. It is. Shane Cooper there is just bringing something to referee Tennant's attention. They want the ball quickly, but Gary Connolly chipped it through. Whether he'd have caught the ball, I don't know, Paul, but Lyon took him off the ball.
Yes, he did take him off the ball, and they're going about professional fouls. I mean, if that one's a professional foul, I don't know what is. I mean, I was just going to say he should at least get 10 minutes in the sin bin, and Tennant puts the cards up and gives him 10 minutes. Saints now, especially with the 12 men, should do as I said before, put a couple of steadies on, and then throw the ball out wide and capitalise on Warrington having one man down.
Yes, as you said, Paul, your expert opinion there, that it is a professional foul. We don't see a lot of it actually penalised in that way, but whether they're looking forward to that. But Gary Connolly there chipped it through and blatantly taken off the ball by David Lyon. Referee Tennant went up there, gave the penalty right in front of the sticks, and he's received 10 minutes in the sin bin. Paul Bishop converts the penalty award, and that levels the scores up again at 14 points apiece. And Warrington down to 12 men for another 10 minutes. So let's hope Saints can capitalise with Warrington being an extra man down. Let's just hope they don't do what the Pie Eaters did, as I said before, went to sleep. Castleford with only 12 men, and they wiped the floor with Wigan. And I hope Widnes wipe the floor with them tonight. But it's Warrington to kick off. Deep kick, taken by George Mann, just on the line there, drives it upfield, in with the shoulder. Well, Harmon, he didn't like it. Cullen in at the tackle. Beg your pardon, not Harmon, Sumner. Well, Harmon there going away, probably was Harmon as well. Lots of tacklers in there from Warrington. Sonny Nicol there, forced back. It's John Harrison looking for support. Gary Connolly's there. He has to take the tackle just outside the 25. And Warrington all offside there, all in front of referee Tennant. As Kevin Ward creates the gap inside to Connolly. Backing up as ever the Saints there. They've got to spread it quickly. Warrington offside again as Cooper lofts a good pass to Rapati. Beats one. Looking for support. Superb pass to Cooper. Well, temper's getting a little frayed. Cullen it was. Cullen and Cooper. The loose forwards just exchanging pleasantries. And as we've said before, Cullen not renowned for his finesse in the tackle there, Paul.
Yes, and it was down to Cullen. Cullen coming in with the elbow then, definitely. I mean, I know he comes in with the elbow now. It's a little bit silly that, Shane. I mean, when someone comes in with the elbow, I mean, you can't just lie down and take it, especially not that. So Shane come on and retaliated. I mean, I think Shane's going to get the penalty against him unless the referee had seen the elbow, which I don't think he has. The linesman's indicating something, but I think he'll end up pulling Paul Cullen and Mike Gregory, sorry. And he has Paul Cullen, so they have seen the elbow.
Well, Cullen being spoken to, Saints rushing away. A similar touch judge intervention on the far side resulted in a scrum down, but it should be a penalty to the Saints this time. It is. As you say, Shane Cooper there, one of the most placid of persons you meet on the field. Just gets down there, does his job, leads by example. He was agitated a little there by Cullen's tackle. And Saints have the penalty. Phil Beavers, superb kick, finds touch inside the Warrington 25. And it's a chance now for Saints. They need 6 points. Groves there, misses Neil out. It's on to Sonny Nicol. Shrugs one tackle off. And again, still going forward is Sonny Nicol. Saints will have to make it count now. They're spreading it to the left. Kevin Ward must be in the running for the sponsors man of the match award this afternoon. He's certainly his powerhouse forward display. He's drove hard into the Warrington defence all the time. John Harrison on to Connolly there. Since he came on, Connolly's backed up well. He's always been there and about. Cooper inside to Ward. Striding forward, brought down 5 yards short. It's Kevin Ward now. Cooper a dummy half. Jonathan Neal is looming on the left. The ball comes to the right. It's Rapati. Looking for a bit of space is Rapati. Inside to Les Quirk. On to Gary Conley again. He's coming with Rapati. But a superb tackle by Warrington. Bringing Conley down. Sixth and final one now. Will this ball be hoisted in the air? Cooper and Bishop there. John to Bishop. Going for the drop. Yes, it's there. That separates the teams. Good play from the Saints there, and Paul Bishop pops the extra point over, gives Saints that 1 point lead, Paul.
Yes, and gives that 1 point lead, and he takes us back into possession here now, and the ball coming up. We need a couple of steadies here now, and then we're going to have to send the ball back down there in the field. I mean, they've been out in this heat now for so long, and it's bound to start telling on one of the teams, whether it's going to be Saints or whether it's going to be Warrington. Just let's hope it's going to be Warrington, and we'll keep them down there with a long kick.
So Saints receiving ball possession back. Tia Rapati running it up, good into passing at the corner here from Rapati, Connolly, and then inside the ball from Cooper to Bishop, and he popped it over, a left foot to drop goal as Jonathan Neal powers up. Good ball to Cooper, looking for support, only the full-back to beat, just losing his footing. Unfortunate there. Warrington quickly back on side, and it's the Saints moving it up. Warrington down to 12 men. George Mann inside to Beavers. Outside ball to Alan Hunt. He coming into. Oh! Superb try from Alan Hunt. What a superb try here at Nosey Road. Finished off by Alan Hunt, and a tremendous amount of pressure there. Good break from Jonathan Neal, and then it was spread and finished off well.
Yes, Jonathan Neal, superb breakthrough there, dropped the ball off, threw the ball out wide, and Alan Hunt ended up with ball. Run superb, going down to the touchline, looking as though he may have got knocked into touch. Next minute, come back inside, took the plays on superb, and ended up near enough under the sticks. A superb try there from Alan Hunt. He's there from a great guy. He's a confident kind of player.
So well finished off there by Alan Hunt. He's going from strength to strength, only about 20 years of age, but a superbly finished try there after the initial spade work centre field. "19 points to 14 the score, and with Paul Bishop, if he can pop this one over, that'll be a 7-point cushion for the Saints. Bishop there, composing himself, strikes it well. Yes, the touch judges raise the flags. "21 points to 14 to score, and won't Bishop relishing that one. After the amount of stick he's been given at the Eddington stand end, he'll lap it up, and he'll look to have kicked that goal, obviously along with the drop goal that he kicked earlier on. So Warrington kick off after the popular side chorus, just letting the Warrington faithful know up at the Eddington that they've stopped singing. Obviously with a 7-point gap, especially after coming back well into the game, Warrington. But they're down to 12 men. David Lyon, he was sent to the sin bin for a professional foul, and Saints have certainly capitalised on the one-man deficit. Jonathan Neal back in the fray. Shane Cooper there leading his troops, bringing it blindside. Little chip through. Cooper gathers it. Oh, unlucky there. Very unfortunate there, Shane Cooper. Lovely flighted chip kick, but just couldn't gather it cleanly. Saw the gap, always looking for the gap in the opposition's armour. Warrington now, Cullen there, passed it off the ground. Referee Tennant waves play on. It's now with Ellis. He's brought down centre field, 5 yards short of the halfway line by Jonathan Neal. Into passing there onto Mike Gregory. Tirapati clamps him, man and ball, brings him to a halt. Dwayne Mann at dummy half. Tirapati is slowly up there, but Crompton with a crossfield kick. Alan Hunt 5 yards short of his own line as the Warrington defence comes up. Hunt inside to Connolly, he's into space. Tormenting, Drummond, he laid off him while the centre came in to tackle him, but it's Saints still in possession. John Harrison, and Saints always looking to spread the ball out. 21-14 the score, just over 10 minutes remaining, and Saints superior strength, as I said last week at Hull, the last 20 minutes proving crucial. There's Ward onto Groves, now to Rapati. 3 Warrington tacklers bring him to a halt, and Groves again looking for a quick play of the ball. Sonny Nicol from a standing start. Sixth and final tackle from the Saints, as Bishop peppers it down centre field. Lyon back on after his 10-minute stint, but it goes dead, and Warrington are going to restart from the centre of the 25. Getting back very slowly there, the Warrington forwards, Paul, and Saints superior strength. I think it'll tell at this last 10 minutes.
Yes, like I say, with the weather being so hot, I mean, someone's going to give away. You know, the tackling's been ferocious near enough all afternoon, and there's been a lot of running play as well, so there's going to be a lot of people tired out there. Same as that as well, making little mistakes there now, and now we've got the linesman on.
Yes, the touch judge on the far side, and I think this is going to result in a penalty for Warrington, because the Warrington had knocked on, yes. The referee Tennant quickly there bringing somebody out. Jonathan Neal is the alleged culprit this time. But the touch judge moved quickly, the ball had gone, and Warrington had knocked it forward. Well, he's indicating either an elbow or raking the ball out, but the ball had come out and Warrington had possession, so it must be an elbow indicated. Warrington kicked 10 yards upfield for the penalty and spread it quickly. Cooper in there on Cullen, his counterpart. A superb crunching tackle, he read it well. And it's Chambers, front row forward for Warrington, brought down midway between the Saints 25 and the halfway line. Dwayne Mann brings it on to Sumner, the substitute forward. He's held, he stands in the tackle. The Saints are urged to get back on side by referee Tennant. Ellis working a loop movement there with Thorniley. But Saints read it well, and they complete the tackle. Well, certainly looked like a knock-on in his efforts to get it quickly there, Paul Derbyshire. Knocked it forward, a scrum down to be formed, 10 yards outside the Saints 25. And we're inside the last 8 minutes of the game. Saints with a 7-point cushion, 21-14 the score. Bishop feeds, Saints have scrum possession. Gary Connolly been very heavily involved since he came on for Jonathan Griffiths in the 27th minute. Well, certainly looked like a trip, and that could be somebody down the tunnel. Well, he's only given him 10 minutes. I think it's Crompton, but he's only got 10 minutes. Well, Ellis, we do believe it is. Here's Kevin Ellis with 10 minutes in the sin bin. Saints putting the pressure on, powering the way to the Warrington line. Warrington reduced to 12 men yet again. But an infringement at the play of the ball there. Not playing it correctly is referee Tennant's decision. I didn't see anything wrong with that play of the ball, Paul. What's your opinion?
Well, Kevin had a lot of tackles coming in on Kevin there, then I think a few punches got thrown into him, and I don't think he was too happy about it. So it took him a bit to play the ball, and when he played, he wasn't looking. He was having a bit of an argument with one of the Warrington players, and Tennant penalised him for not playing the ball proper.
But it's Warrington with the penalty. Neil Harmon coming back on there to substitute Don Duffy. Warrington bringing it centre field. Dwayne Mann attacked in half. Well, he passes it round the man. It hit Phil Beavers. Play allowed to go on there. Surely a bit of obstruction in the Saints' efforts to get the ball. But Warrington have possession, and Paul Bishop penalised for offside. Referee Tennant doing a bit of nitpicking this afternoon. Lyon takes it quickly. He finds touch 5 yards short of the Saints' 25. Dwayne Mann onto Chambers. Rapati, John Neal. Neil Harmon powering it upfield. Alan Hunt just being named as the sponsors man of the match. 2-try performance from Alan Hunt. But a lot of the spade work being done in the pack there as it is. It's the engine room, the powerhouse of the Saints setup. But it's Warrington with captain Mike Gregory. And referee Tennant there urging the Saints to get back on side. It's just a pity he didn't pay more attention to Warrington earlier on. But it's substitute Sumner. He's had a good game since he come on. He's powered his way forward. A couple of good strong runs. As Warrington bringing it blindside. Lofted ball there. It's going to be the changeover when the tackle is completed. There's Crompton, chips it, but it's going to be too deep. Kicked dead, kicked on the full, on the 6th tackle there. And Saints will restart with a tap from the centre of the 25. Cullen taking an injury just to the left of our commentary position. He's getting back on side now. Warrington down to 12 men again. And Saints withstanding the pressure there, Paul. And with just time running out for Warrington, 4 minutes remaining, I can see Saints have got these 2 league points sewn up.
Yes, well, I hope so, unless Warrington get a breakaway try. Really, we just want 6 tackles here now, and then let Paul Bishop beat the ball down the field. John Neal running there again. He's had a great game today. He had a bit of trouble with his shoulder before he played, but he's obviously got over that and he's had a superb game. Saints are breaking there now with John Harrison, and we're looking, the longer the game goes on, Saints are looking stronger.
Beavers on to Ward, straightening it up, looking for support. Bishop's there, on to Beavers. No problem, is it? Drummond will not catch him. Beavers under the sticks. Superb try there from Phil Beavers. Well worked in the centre of the field. And Des Drummond came across, but he couldn't cut Phil Beavers off. No problem now. That's definitely sewn it up. Obviously, there's a chance of 2 quick scores for Warrington before that Beavers try, but that'll have sunk him. And Saints' superior strength is shown in the training, paying off there. And another 6 points in the bag for the Saints, Paul.
Yes, it was a great try, really. I mean, when you get a bloke the size of Kevin Ward, he's still coming now, Saints at the end of the game after 80 minutes, come through there with a great break. He held the ball up well in 2 tackles and dropped it off little Bish. Bish run down well, and Beavers was there in support and dropped it to Beavers, and he went straight under the sticks. It was a superb try, especially coming at the end of the game for the fans.
Paul Bishop now, just a formality, 10 yards out, right in front of the sticks. Strikes it well, won't he be happy this afternoon? Pops another one over, his 3rd of the afternoon. And the 2 Stones Bitter League points in the bag. Excellent play from the Saints, running it up well. And Warrington, as I said, they was down to 12 men, but it's their own fault. Committing offences there, and Ellis dispatched to the sin bin for 10 minutes, and as a good side should. Saints capitalising on the 1 man down. As Kevin Ward takes the ball there off A crossfield kick from Dwayne Mann from the kick-off. Tried to catch the Saints unaware. Harrison spreads it to Groves. Over one man is Groves. And Saints they can finish with a flourish. Just a minute and a half on my watch of time to be played. 27 points to 14 the score. George Mann, good ball to Rapati. Out to Les Quirk. Let's see what Quirk can do. Well, Lyon again. The ball had been kicked and Quirk pushed into touch. Referee Tennant looking at the touch judge and nothing ruled there. Well, another poor piece of officialdom in my unbiased opinion, with Les Quirk clearly shouldered into touch after the ball had gone, but the referee looking at the touch judge and he didn't want to know. But Warrington starts with a tap from the centre of the 25. Not make any difference to the result. The 2 points are Saints and it's Chambers, as referee Tennant urging the Saints back onside. Dwayne Mann slowly up. Gregory, the ball out there on the far side. It's on to Des Drummond. Good ball to Drummond, and can Connolly cut him off? Yes, a superb tackle from Connolly and forces him into touch on the far side. Warrington claiming a penalty, and it looks as though Connolly's got 10 minutes in the sin bin for obviously tackling Drummond, and then when referee Tennant had obviously adjudged that the tackle had been completed, Connolly actually forcing Drummond into touch. Warrington played quickly, a lofted ball, but Les Quirk's going to cut the man off, yes. Tried to slide over there. It's Crompton looking to squeeze into the corner, but superior tackling from the Saints. The man's held up over the line, and referee Tennant's putting the back in the field of play. Cullen. Warrington spreading it again. Lyon, extra man, it's on to Drummond now. He squeezes in this time. Consolation try in the corner. Well cut off by Connolly over there before Paul. Unfortunate to get 10 minutes in the sin bin, but Warrington getting a consolation try at the end.
Yes, I didn't really see what happened. We got a Connolly getting 10 minutes. I mean, it was a superb try off him. But Drummond squeaked in there at the end. Really, it's only a consolation try. Saints have played a great game today. They've kept going for 80 minutes, and in this game, I mean, if you're going to want to win trophies, you're going to have to keep going for 80 minutes. Saints look very good today.
You don't mind if it's 10 minutes in the sin bin, as long as the refereeing is consistent. That's something we'll never get, I don't think, consistent refereeing. But Gary Connolly, he'll take no further part in this game. Dispatched for 10 minutes in the sin bin for a double tackle on Des Drummond. But Warrington, they did well. They had the penalty. They spread it over to the left, then took it back over to the right, and Drummond, strong as ever, running hard and scored in the corner. Lyon with the conversion attempt, and he gets it right this time. 2 minutes of extra time has been played. There's the final hooter. 27 points to 20 is the final score. A good performance from the Saints this afternoon, running out well, and 2 valuable league points. I'd just like to thank Paul Farber for joining me for a very entertaining game this afternoon, and Saints did deserve it in the end, Paul, but certainly the man in the middle, some funny decisions.
Yes, well, they all get funny decisions, but I think Tennant is one of the better referees, really. On the day, Saints have put up a good performance and come out with a good win, and I think both sides of the spectators have been happy with the game.
Yes, an excellent game, well worth the admission money this afternoon, and Saints running out by 27 points to 20. It took them a while to get started in the second half, but they finally came to it, and they come up with a 2 stone bit of league points. Of course, both teams go for a well-earned bath after the bruising encounter this afternoon. Let's hope Saints' injury problems clear up, with Paul Loughlin with an ankle injury, and we're at home again here at Nosey Road next Sunday in the first round of the Lancashire Cup, when Saints entertain Trafford Borough. So thanks once again for joining us. You've been with your Saints video team. We hope you'll join us next week for the Lancashire Cup first round.